What's up, people? It's nasty and rainy today, and we're actually going to try to burn off some of these slabs. I'm trying to get this brush pile started right now with the propane torch. It might be too wet, I don't know. It's still raining right now. If I can get that pile lit up there, I'll start bringing some slabs up with the Bobcat, dropping in there and burning some of the stuff off. I probably need to bring the tractor up here and go around this with the plow just to make sure nothing does light up, but it's pretty saturated right now. It's really wet. This is all like hay, but it's all super wet. I say I don't even know if that thing's gonna light up, but we're gonna try it. If not, we'll find something else to do. Got it kind of started. If it'll stay dry right there, it'll burn. I'm gonna get it started on the other side here. Well, it's starting to go now. Hoping it will take off here in a minute. As soon as it does, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna start dragging those slabs up here and dropping on here. And I'll probably go around it with the, instead of plowing, I'll probably get the bucket on the Bobcat and go around and make me a little barrier out here. I don't think any of this stuff's gonna burn, but don't want to chance it. Quite a few loads so far. Got a lot more to go though. But yeah, look how hot that thing's burning hot. Hopefully they don't dry this field out. It's doing good so far. Wind's starting to pick up. That's probably all I'm gonna put on there for now, because it is hot. Well, we had quite a few loads. Well, grapplefuls anyway. It's burning really fast. We're on into the dark now. Let's burn it down quick. I'm not gonna throw any more on here tonight just because Nobody's gonna be up here to attend to it. I'll check on it later probably. It's almost 7 o'clock now and it's already dark. I probably dumped 30 loads of wood on here. I run out probably a half a tank of gas or a half a tank of diesel in the Bobcat loading this fire. But it's going. Whew, it's cold today. Who makes good gloves? I need some really good gloves. I gotta find some. It's gonna be really cold soon. And my fingers are freezing. And I'll jump this thing off so we can get back to cleaning up our lumber. Look at this though. I knocked this pile down last night. I stayed up here really late. Throw lumber in the fire pile. Man, we put a huge dent in that. I'm about to start working on the rest of this while it's still wet. Last thing I want to do is have a fire up there when it dries out. I feel will probably burn like gas. So we're trying to get as much done. We're trying to get as much burn as we can while it's still wet and nasty out. Because it'll probably dry out the next day or so. That truck skipping like crazy this morning. Yeah, we got this pile knocked down. Got me a little road going through there now. Glow plugs. Yeah. Let that warm up for a minute. We'll ride up here and check this fire, see if there's any hot coals in it. Hopefully we won't have a problem starting this thing again. Should have many coals in there. Hopefully we get up this hill. Four-wheel drive doesn't work in this truck. And I don't want to spend the money to fix it, so I'm not too concerned about it. Oh yeah, she's still smoking. Yeah, we still got some coals over here. And it burned down pretty good. A lot of that wood was super dry. We're about to load it back up though. Well, the ground's a little harder today, which means it's probably drying up, starting to. So I gotta hurry up and get this fire going, get this stuff burned down before it dries too much. Tires aired up real quick. Man, look at these things. You know, these are the factory tires that came on this in like 2002 or 4 or whenever this thing was new. All right, got that aired up. I run 40 PSI on these tires. I don't know what the recommended. I think people run like 90 PSI on some of them. I don't know. But I just keep it at 40. It gives a little smoother ride and doesn't beat you up as much. I'm gonna finish my cup of coffee real quick before I get back started. You can see the fire from here. You can see the smoke anyway behind the greenhouse. It's going now anyway. It's looking better though. We're gonna get all that stuff, every single bit of it. feeling good now. I'm gonna let that catch up some and start burning. Start hauling some more up here in a minute. Take a little break real quick and watch this go. There's a lot of lumber. That's a big slab right there. Big pine slab. Can't believe I threw that in there. If you could just feel the heat coming off this thing. That wet wood smokes like crazy. When it gets hot and heats up some though and dries that stuff out, there will be absolutely no smoke and nothing but flames. I looked up here last night after I left from up here and there was about 60-foot flames coming off that thing when it really took off and lit up. I'm sure we'll have the same today. Well, she is blazing. Gotta get some more wood stacked on there. I hate for it to get too big because you never know when the wind will start blowing, and I don't think we're gonna worry about anything catching on fire today because it's so wet and nasty and foggy. But there's always still that worry in the back of your mind anytime you're burning any kind of stuff like this. Last night I got on YouTube and I started watching this guy. I don't know, it probably popped up because I shared a short of this fire, but it was this guy who drives a fire break dozer out west, probably out in California or somewhere. But anyway, he cuts fire breaks with his dozer and takes you along and records it, and that's pretty cool. But it's pretty insane how crazy it is out there. A fire like this will be absolutely devastating to those areas because things catch on fire so fast. I guess it's just a low humidity. We have fire break dozers out here, and most of the burns out here, they do controlled burns. Very seldom do we have any crazy outbreaks and wildfires like they do out west, but I thought it was really cool. It was watching that dozer run through those fences and run through trees and run through fields and catching the fires, keeping these farms from burning. When it happens, I guess. But yeah, something like this in California or some of those dry areas out west, I couldn't imagine. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. You can see these flames just start taking off when the wind blows. It's actually, the wind's coming out of the east right now, so I'd rather it come out of the east than the west because we have less dry grass over here on this side. I'm trying to make the pile come further this way into some of this mud, so it's not a bad thing. We don't really have anything over here to burn. Let's go get some more. As I'm sitting here pulling this wood out of this pile, and the further I get in, you gotta think about it, this pile's kind of like a time capsule. And this pile started when I first got this mill right here. I've had several mills, but in this one in particular, that's where that pile started. I have burned some since then, but it started building up pretty quick, and we couldn't always burn because of the dry weather. But that pile is kind of like a time capsule. As I'm going through it, I see certain woods and certain things I cut in there, like black walnut or cherry or whatever it was I was cutting at that time. And I think about it and I remember those logs. It's pretty crazy. You know, running a manual mill, you remember a lot of logs. You remember the ones that were a headache, the ones that took forever, the ones that broke stuff. You know, it's a lot of back-breaking work. So those certain logs you definitely remember. You don't forget them. Well, it's a new day. This will be the third day of burning slabs. I burned yesterday. I hauled loads of wood up here pretty much all day long. I was on the Bobcat bringing wood up, and up until about 9:30 last night. But I had a huge pile here last night. It was giant. The wind started picking up a little bit too. It's kind of scaring me, but it wasn't too bad. Everything stayed in this little area here, but it's pretty well burnt down. I've got some stuff around the outside perimeter here I got to clean up. But we did get a little rain last night and early this morning, so it kind of helped wet things around here. I'll take you down and show you what the slab pile looks like. We put a nice dent. Well, we pretty much almost have it all. There's some stuff left over, and I got a lot of cleanup from traveling up and down here with the Bobcat hauling wood, dropping it everywhere. Okay, if you've been following along and you've seen these last videos with my slab pile and how bad it was getting, you're going to be pretty impressed with this. Check that out. That slab pile was all the way up somewhere around here. It was about in line with that. It was getting to the point where I had to like go around, and my boards were hitting it. So it was pretty much all the way out here. And now we've knocked it all the way down. Pretty much all of it's gone. Now I do have some slabs over here to the side. That was kind of some overflow, as so I wasn't stacking in my way where I haul lumber and load it onto the mill. So I got to get over here and get this stuff. Every time I went to reach for it, I was getting stuck because it's pretty muddy out here. But I've got pretty much everything. I got a mess over here, but I've got pretty much everything over here. I've got all these stumps, or all these cutoffs. I piled them up right here. I've got some logs I need to move. I think that's a pecan over there and some others, some big maples. And we're all the way back to the brush pile. Now this brush pile was put here 2 years ago because right in there, in that area, was a whole bunch of probably 1,000 cedar trees stacked. And my dad stacked those years ago. And when he was sawmilling, and they just kind of sit. And I think he passed in 2007, so it's been quite a while. So anyway, they sat there and it had trees growing through them and bushes and everything else. There's some of the cedars right over there. But yeah, that was all grown up down here, and I cleared all that out. And all those little trees and bushes that were growing around that cedar is right here in this pile. Yeah, look at that. All that wood's gone. Now, I was on the Bobcat till about 9:30 last night doing this, and I would have stayed on and kept going. But I stopped for a minute and I got down and grabbed something to drink and bite to eat. And when I was getting out, I noticed a little hydraulic leak. So this hose curls around that pin and then back up to this cylinder, which is odd. The hoses run through this frame, and there's some fittings right here where they come out. That's weird how they routed that. So it goes from here over that pin, back around into that cylinder. It's kind of looped. I guess that kind of keeps it in check. But apparently it's rubbed a hole somewhere, because I saw a little bit of fluid leaking here. It looked worse last night, but I couldn't really tell. It was kind of wet right there. Maybe it's just wiped from the hose rubbing. But it's got that sheathing on it. The cylinder's fine. I was worried about it because I was throwing all that wood, throwing it in that fire, and when I was coming out of the fire and coming down the hill with the grapples open, you can see smoke coming off the grapples from the heat. It was pretty insane. So I was really worried about cooking one of those seals in the cylinder or something, because it got really hot. But those cylinders are fine. I don't think the hoses got any kind of burn to them. I think it just kind of, I think one of them's got a spot rubbed in it or something, and it's got a small leak. But I'm probably going to use it just to finish this stuff out. Like I said, I don't want to throw it on today because the wind's been up and down all day, and I'd hate for it to. It is wet though. It did rain last night and some this morning, so it's quite a bit wetter today than it was yesterday. I think it'll be okay. I just don't want embers flying over to somebody's house or something like that. But you know, you always got that worry. I've been wanting to build a saw shed, but I had one goal before I started building the saw shed. It was that slab pile, getting that taken care of, because I really need the room out here, and we're not going to let that slab pile get out of hand again. And I've still got guys commenting on the black walnut video for free stickers, and thought it was pretty cool. Got a couple of replies back about them, and guys telling me where they're putting them and using them. I think you guys should email me some pictures of where you put your stickers, and I'll post them on here. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, we still have a few people asking about those on the black walnut video. I think I'm gonna do it again. If you guys want a free sticker, comment slab wood in the comments below, and I'll send you one. How about that? Well, folks, I'm gonna start moving some more of the slab wood to the fire pile, and but that's gonna do it today for the video. Sorry it wasn't much excitement, and probably not very interesting, just moving wood to the fire pile. But I'm just glad to get this stuff done. It's one of those things it needed to be done a long time ago, and just didn't have the weather for it. But if you want a sticker, go ahead in the comments below, comment slab wood, and I'll send you a free sticker. And I appreciate all the comments and the likes and subscribes, and you people are great. If you're new here and you're watching this and you like our content, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. I appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.